So let's talk about your own match. So you've got a huge match coming up here, and I'll put it up on the YouTube screen, kind of where we are in this, and set the tables for us and why you are facing off with Marcus Centofante.
Oh man, Marcus, me and him, we go back all the way to the beginning of this journey for me, and Marcus was one of the backyard wrestling link guys. He was maybe not quite as over during the backyard wrestling link as he eventually became in the GBYWN era. Think of him not necessarily on the same level, but like a Sean Jovi, where he wasn't necessarily doing too much before, and then whenever the new era starts, he kind of takes his place among the upper echelon, you know?
Sure.
So whenever that happened for him, this man's ego went insane. Like, everything had to be his way. All his friends needed to be booked in the way that he saw fit. If he blackballed your show, no one was going. So these were things that, like, he was part of a clique called the Big League, and it was maybe 10 or 15 people that might have been above you in terms of skill, but they thought they were above you as people. And this is something that me and my group of friends just didn't want anything to do with, right? So we started a group, a faction called The Awakening, and pretty much the entire goal of this faction was to take out Marcus Centofante and stop him from pulling all this stuff he's been pulling for so long. Like, finally put an end to Marcus Centofante. And unfortunately for us, him and his boys hit the 1-2-3 on us, took our crew out, and we didn't get the job done. So, like, we were looked at as the bad guys. People thought that we were the ones that were in the wrong the whole time because we had a target. But just because you have a target doesn't necessarily mean you're wrong. You just know what you're doing, right? Like, you know what you want to accomplish. And we wanted to destroy this ego from our community. And when that didn't happen, I was kind of lost. Like, I didn't know what the next move was supposed to be. So I kind of wandered around the backyard circuit for a little bit. And I ended up in like a triple threat match with him down the road where he beat me again. He pinned me 1-2-3, moved on. And after the match was over, he extended his hand to me and I shook it. And that's something that has haunted me for 12 years.
But shaking his hand, it haunted you. Why?
Should not have shook that man's hand because that was giving him what he wanted. It was always about him getting what he wanted. Every time it was always what he wanted.
So if you let this bother you then for 12 years, that's a long time to have this simmering. I mean, boy, you must have thought that would have never took place, that you and him would be in a ring coming up next weekend, huh?
So that's the thing. It didn't bother me forever. It was about, I would say about 2 or 3 years ago, I let it all go. It was just,
Okay.
I'm a new person now. I moved on. I'm here to just be one with the community. I just want to be friends with my friends. I want everybody to be happy. And then this promo. This is what he drops whenever he finds out that I'm hosting a reunion show.
Right now. They're playing all the hits for famous internet clout, even though they didn't do none of it. You know what I got to do, Sid Blade, to wait for NYE or New Era footage to pop off?
What's that?
I just got to wait 3 or 4 months. It happens 6 times a year. Rick, you're playing with fire. I used to stand in front of all these people, this community of my brothers. I was the king amongst men, and I would say, these are my people. Where were my people when I needed them the most? Rick, they'll abandon you. Don't make me remember who the fuck I am.
Wow.
Yeah. And, you know, the whole thing leading up to this was brotherhood, and it was all of us excited to get back together and to just be friends again, you know? And then he has to take it here. It's always this with him. It's always got to be, I am better than you, and here is why. And even after he drops this promo, it took a lot of people, a lot of convincing to even make me think about getting in the ring again. I was only there to be the pencil. I just wanted to book the matches, make sure everybody could have a great time. I want to book the hotel rooms. I want to make sure I know where everybody's staying. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to put this together for everybody. And he just couldn't have that. And after a lot of really close people to me told me a lot of things that I really needed to hear, I realized that the only person that can shut him up is me. There's nobody else. It can only be me. And if it's not me, then he gets to talk forever. He could talk for the whole rest of his life. The next 40, 50, 60 years, he could keep on yapping. But if I can finally be the one to shut him up and do our community the service, then I have to take the opportunity. I have to try.